Welcome to Heat Up Your Retreats with Amanda Hietter.
Welcome back to the Heat Up Your Retreats podcast, where we help you turn your message into movement, your expertise into experiences, and your retreats into revenue. I am your host, Amanda Hietter, and today's conversation is going to challenge you in the best way when it comes to how you're showing up, speaking up, and positioning yourself as a leader. Because here's the truth. You could have the most powerful message in the world, but if you don't know how to communicate it clearly and confidently, you are going to stay hidden. And that's exactly why I'm so excited for today's guest. I am joined by my dear friend, Jenn Espinosa-Goswami, an ICF-certified speaking coach and international speaker who helps entrepreneurs and coaches turn their voice into a profitable business asset through speaking. Jenn is the host of the Mic Drop Mindset podcast, which is geared towards speakers and coaches looking to generate more sales in their business. I highly recommend to check it out. She has helped countless business owners not only find their message, but monetize it through speaking, visibility, and strategic communication. So, if you've ever wondered, how do I get more visible without feeling salesy? How do I turn speaking into actual clients? And how do I confidently share my message in a way that moves people to action? You are in the right place, my friend. Let's dive in. Welcome, Jenn. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Hey, Amanda, are we going to heat this thing up today?
Yes, we definitely are. I love it. I love it. So I want to dive in and just ask you a couple questions, and we'll just let the conversation flow from here. So, Jenn, I want to ask, obviously you didn't wake up one day as a speaking coach. What was the turning point where you realized your voice could actually become a business?
Some days I still wonder, is it true your voice can become your business? And I have a lot of clients who ask me that question, Amanda. It's kind of funny. I did not just wake up one day doing this. And in fact, this is my second round of my business. So the first time I set up my business, it was under the umbrella of Waitlist LLC. Because believe it or not, I was someone who started speaking on stages about my personal transformation story, which had to do with losing 100 pounds in 1 year.
Wow.
And that was 20 something years ago. So, it was a while ago since I had that transformation. But that was what I chose as my first message to share on stages. Now, about 5 years from now, I decided that I don't want to speak about weight loss anymore. There are a lot of things happening in the healthcare market right now that I either didn't care for or no longer wanted to be associated with the industry. I still love people who are doing health and helping people improve their health, but I no longer wanted to speak about those things. So I said, well, what am I still passionate about? They say, speak about your passion, and that is definitely true for me. I'm still passionate about using your voice on stage and using speaking as an opportunity to reach the people who are looking for the message you share. So I help other people grow their business through public speaking because that's literally what I've been doing for the past 15 years.
That is awesome. And that's so needed. I know that like 2 years ago, if someone would have told me, hey, Amanda, you're going to be speaking on stages, I would have been like, hi, you're kidding. I don't think so. And I've learned that it's so important to be open to speaking on stages because you become the authority in the niche or the business that you're in when you're on the stage and just talking about why you do, what you do, who you serve, and how you can help others. That really helps your business grow. And obviously, that's what you're coaching people on is the importance of that.
And I have to say, it's one of the few places that you can't mimic or duplicate it using AI tools. You can duplicate people's writing, you can mimic how people look, but you can't mimic or duplicate someone being on stage and sharing their message the way that they deliver it.
100%. Yes. So one of the biggest struggles that I see with retreat leaders is they have a message, but it's not landing. What is the biggest mistake people make when trying to communicate their message?
Ooh, there are so many things that could potentially go wrong, but let's focus on a few of the more common ones I see with my clients. First of all, like me, a lot of folks have a really important signature story, something that they've experienced, that they've achieved success in, and retreat leaders are no example, are no removal from this. Like they certainly have their own personal experiences. Usually when they're hosting the retreat, it's around a philosophy, a process, something that really worked for them, and now they're bringing it to other people. So the interesting thing about that is it's not really about you. Your message should never be about you specifically. Now, you certainly could use your example as a first step for some people or to inspire or motivate people, but what you have to do is go beyond that and understand, what does that audience need from you in that room on that day? So some of it you can prepare ahead of time. You can have a signature speech that makes your audience the hero of their own story. You can certainly use your own personal story to add flavor and drama to how they might access their own hero story themselves. But you have to make sure you include opportunities for engagement with the audience in the room with you, because nobody wants another talking head. Videos are fun. You can watch things on TikTok and people just sharing all the things they know. But do they really know what they know? And at the end of the day, it's what people can do with the information you share. It's not necessarily about, oh, this person was able to climb Mount Everest or something like that. That's awesome. But most of us won't be able to do that, or maybe we don't have interest in doing that. So what elements of your story are things that are achievable by the people within the room with you? And not only that, how are you making it easy for them to achieve those things?
Yes, for sure. I love that. And that's actually something I have learned being in the space of starting to speak more is really it's about sharing your story and making sure that you're connecting with the audience appropriately to where, again, like you said, you're letting the audience become the hero of the story of like, oh, I've been there. And I could do these same things that Amanda's doing. Like, I can do it. There's a light at the end of this tunnel. And that is so important. So I love that you shared that because a lot of people don't realize that we have to kind of make sure that we're making our story work for the audience. It's not about us, it's about them.
Absolutely. And I can't tell you how many speakers deliver a beautiful, entertaining, super imaginative presentation and say, oh gosh, darn it, I forgot to tell people the next step that they can take. That's a call to action. If you are delivering presentations left and right and don't have a single call to action for the audience where they can take it and really run with it, that's a very common mistake a lot of people have, where they're focusing too much on the educational elements and not enough on the engagement elements for the audience to take and use.
Yes, I agree with that. And a lot of the times people think they're selling from the stage, and that is a fear. That's a fear of mine as well. But a call to action, that doesn't necessarily have to be like a sales pitch, right, Jen? Like it can be like, connect with me here, or here is this really great 7-page document that you can download to help you with whatever it is that you've been talking about. So it's like a lead magnet to get people into your circle and where you can reach out to them, potentially could become a sale. So there's many ways, and people can be afraid because they think, oh, I don't want to sell to the audience, but it doesn't have to be a sale necessarily.
Or the other thing that they do is they stuff all of the potential ways you can connect with them at the last 2 minutes of their presentation. For example, find me on Instagram, download my thing, get a chapter of my book. And they say like literally 5 different things that the audience could do. Unfortunately, the audience is confused and overwhelmed, and they decide to do nothing with that because it's not easy for them to decide which thing they want to opt into. So that's another thing. You might be like having all these wonderful free opportunities for people to connect with you, but it's not clear what happens after that. So thinking like a few steps ahead and say, yes, it's great to have this download, this opt-in, this free chapter of your book, or whatever that may look like for you. But is it clear after that what people do? I consider stage speaking as the first part of the conversation. Let's call it the icebreaker. You're breaking the ice, you're getting to know people, you're spending a significant amount of time with them, and they are spending it with you. How do you continue that conversation beyond the icebreaker? So there are different steps of the process you could do, and that's how you really encourage a relationship with these people in the audience. Now, probably 80% of the people in that audience may not be ready to buy from you now or even a year into the future, and that's okay. It's not about a pitch slap. It's not about buy from me right now, get out your credit card. What it is about is a path for them to follow should they decide to take it.
Yes, agreed. So I want to kind of shift the conversation. You talk a lot about getting paid to speak. So can you break down how someone goes from I have something to say to actually generating revenue from speaking?
Well, there's a couple different ways we could generate revenue when it comes to stage experiences. And depending on which camp you fall into, you might be like, yes, it's absolutely this way, or yes, it's absolutely that way. So I came into my business with the intention of being a professional speaker. So that's the traditional keynote path, right? Where you say, okay, I have this presentation, I can deliver it in 60 minutes. I'm delivering it for certain markets like corporate associations, people who have ongoing meetings and ongoing budgets to pay people to come in there. And I get paid a speaking fee to show up and deliver my content. That's option number one. Option number two is what you'll see more in entrepreneurial spaces or summits, where they'll be like, okay, I'm delivering this content, it's education heavy, but it is attached to a program that I offer, or a way for folks to go deeper in this work if they choose to. And then I enroll clients on the back end of my presentation. So, and this is whether it's a live presentation or a recorded presentation. Now, I do a mix of both, because I don't feel our speaking journey has to look like anyone else's speaking journey. Just like when you think about retreats, right? Some people want to go to the beach. Some people want to go to the mountains. Some people want to do these active adventures. And some people just want to relax with a book and not have to worry about waking up early. You create the same thing when you're looking at these different ways of earning money. Like, what do you most resonate with? Do you like to offer people to do deeper work with you and you don't care if you get paid a speaking fee? Or are you the kind of person who says, I put a lot of time, energy, and attention into delivering this message. I deserve to get paid for this. And whether I sell at the back end doesn't matter to me. I don't want to make it about a sale. Instead, I want to just show up and give them everything I have to offer. And then those who want to continue the conversation with me can do so. I've had people who tell me, Jen, I love the idea of getting paid $5,000 every time I show up to speak. I'll do my thing. It'll help me pay for my business back end, but I don't have to worry about selling after that, or selling from the stage, which is a very difficult thing to do. If you've never done it, I don't feel I'm particularly good at it. And I don't encourage my clients to get really good at selling from stage, because it is an art and it is a difficult thing to master without feeling kind of icky within yourself. I'm not saying that people who are doing it out there aren't really good at it, but it can take a while to get comfortable with that. Whereas a lot of people know that speaking is a great way to share some content that is maybe difficult to, summarize in a 1-minute video that you post to social media. It's important to dive deep into some topics, and some topics need more attention in order to get the message across. So I prefer for you to build your profitable speaking business in a way that makes sense for you. And so if you're a person who doesn't offer coaching or consulting, you might want to go the keynote route, because that way you don't have to worry about upselling. If you're a person who has a $10,000 consulting package, it may not matter if you get paid or not in a speaking fee, because you might enroll 3, 4, 5 clients within that room, even if it's only a room of 20 people.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Such good nuggets. I hope everybody's taking notes, because Jen is dropping some nuggets today. So I know a lot of people tend to hold back because they don't feel like they're ready or they're qualified enough. What would you say to someone who knows that they're called to speak, but they're still playing small?
I would say that describes 100% of us, right, Amanda? There have been plenty of times in my life where I undercharged because I was afraid of whether people would say yes to me. So I don't exclude myself from this company. I definitely struggle with this as well. What I would say is nobody needs to give you permission to do the things that you are doing anyway. And so if you're already using speaking on podcasts like this one, or speaking through summits, if you're already utilizing speaking within your business as a visibility tool, why not consider charging a speaking fee? Now, I'm not saying you're always going to get it, and the strategy you use will change a little bit depending on where you're speaking. But there are people out there who are earning tens of thousands of dollars to do the same thing that you're doing for free. If you are cool doing free things, I love speaking. I totally have spoken for free for many years, and I will continue to speak for free. Every quarter, I deliver a free presentation in my local area. But if you can also get paid to do the same thing, why wouldn't you? Why shouldn't you earn money to add your expertise in what you have to share in the world?
Yes, I agree. I know that, like, for me personally, I've never been paid to speak, but it's on the back end where, I have a lead magnet that kind of draws people in. I set up calls and then money is made that way. And that's where I feel most comfortable. And some people just don't feel comfortable selling from the stage, and maybe they don't feel comfortable asking to get paid for something. But I feel that as you grow as a speaker, if you're someone that maybe is a little bit scared of the speaking space but want to get into it, as you grow, you're going to get more and more confident. And I feel like it's key to hire someone to work with you, to coach you, to feel like you are at that level where you can say, hey, I charge this much to speak, and to start kind of maybe filtering out some of the other speaking opportunities that maybe you have to pay for, because I know that that's another option where you can pay to speak. You can sometimes get money out of that, but we're not going to dive into that. But working with someone like Jenn that is going to coach you on how to be comfortable asking to get paid for speaking. Anyway, for someone that's hosting retreats or events, Jenn, how can they use their speaking as a tool to fill their retreats? Because a lot of my audience wants to speak and be able to fill their retreats, and then also create a deeper transformation for their audience as well, where they're actually kind of selling from the stage a retreat.
Oh, I love speaking at retreats, Amanda. I've done it a handful of times. I spoke at a church retreat, oddly enough, in the middle of Wisconsin somewhere. It was great. It was a friend referral for that one. The beauty of speaking at retreats is you have this atmosphere that cannot be matched in any other type of example. When you're thinking of, paid speaking, typically you're speaking in conference rooms, in boardrooms, in places that are more professional, quote unquote. You might be dressing yourself a certain way, but when you're speaking at a retreat, you're in this beautiful environment. There might be water nearby. You might be sitting next to a fire. It's just such a beautiful, warm, and comforting place to speak at. And I also believe that there are many opportunities for you to offer your services as kind of a taste test or a sample of what you offer at the retreat, especially if you're the host. You get to design your day however you want to design the day. And you're spending time with people both formally and informally for usually a period of days. You will not get that type of access to any sort of audience outside of a retreat. So I'm a big fan of speaking at retreats. Now, if you're the host of a retreat and you're trying to figure out what is the right message for me to share, and it can feel strange, right? Because you're the one who's hosting it. So you might feel like, well, I'm going to let everyone else at my retreat shine, but I'm going to kind of hide behind the scenes and take care of logistics. And I had this challenge myself when I hosted my own event. It was just a one-day event, but I didn't put myself out there too powerfully because I had a bunch of other speakers I was bringing in. So that would be the first thing I would advise is don't forget yourself on the agenda. People are there partially because you're the host of that retreat. So understand that opening the retreat, closing the retreat, being the primary person at the retreat will be important for people being able to continue that conversation with you and understanding more about how you are as a person, because people won't buy from you if they don't trust you. So make sure they understand that you're not just one of many providers in that event. You are the host. You brought this thing together and you have ways for people to continue that conversation with you. So that would be the first thing I would say. And the second thing I would say is make use of the time, space, and energy of the retreat itself. So if you offer yoga, if you offer breath work, if you offer activities, it doesn't have to be a presentation you're delivering. It can be an experience that you add some content with to make it more of a full-blown experience. People will always remember how you make them feel. And anytime you can get them moving, they will feel better. If you can get them laughing, they will feel better. Even when people cry together, there's something that is created in that group experience of just being together in the emotion. So find ways to lean into that when you're at a retreat. The rules change when you're at a retreat. So
Mm.
have fun with it, play around with it, and see if you can create more of an experience just through that connection and interaction.
So good. So good. I actually preach this myself when I'm talking to retreat leaders. It is all about connection. And like you said, you're not going to get access to being around people like this on the regular because it is multiple days where you're just together the entire time. And
Yes.
it can be great. It cannot be great. I've had some retreat leaders share experiences where it's not great, but that's the other thing that as a retreat leader, we have to kind of be a mediator as well, where we make sure that, if you see any kind of tension happening, maybe pulling people aside and making sure things are running smoothly so the experience is running well for everybody else. But having that like very one-on-one time, and this is where I love the coaching part of what I do, where when I'm working with a retreat leader, I tell them this is an easy way for you to sell from the stage because the people that are there are in a very euphoric state. They've made amazing connections. They're there because they want to hear more from you. They want that time with you. Obviously, they wouldn't have signed up for any other purpose. And this is where if you have like a high ticket offer, you need to tell people about it. Don't hide it. Don't hide yourself. Don't hide the things that you have. Share it because I guarantee you will get some clients out of that with that high ticket offer because they're in that very euphoric state of having a wonderful time, creating new connections with people in a beautiful place. Like what is a better positioning than that, right?
I can't think of a better positioning than that. And if you're, getting your retreat set up right now and you're looking at your presentation and you're like, what am I missing in this presentation? I actually have a free guide that you are welcome to download. All listeners are welcome to download this free guide. It's helping you elevate your presentation with the 3 E's because I'm a big believer that there are 3 elements in every presentation that need to be present. And some of us have natural strengths, but we neglect one of the other E's. So the 3 E's, I'll tell you what they are, and then you could go check out the guide and self-assess where you sit right now with your presentation. But the 3 E's are education. Are you educating them on something they didn't know before they met you? Entertainment. What elements of entertainment do you want to include? And I have prompts to help you figure this out. And the last one is engagement. And there are so many opportunities for engagement at retreats. I know I signed up for a retreat this month. I can't wait. It's all focused on the bear emerging from hibernation, which to me is exciting because I love seasonal change and I love transitions. So are there ways for you to include engagement through other access points? Like for me, it was the bear. For you, it might be something specific that you offer in your business or something that people can get excited about.
I love that. That sounds like a fun retreat. Like it's very unique. I've never heard of something like that before, but that's fun because we're right now like recording this during the time of spring. And so like, the bears are coming out of hibernation and like everything is starting to bloom and flourish and thinking about blooming and flourishing in your business. That's so cool. I love that. I love that. So I have
Mm-hmm.
one last question for you, Jen, before we get ready to close out. So if someone is listening today and they want to start using their voice more, whether it's on stages or podcasts or live events, what is the first step that they should take this week or even right now?
Ooh. Well, let me just say, first of all, there's a stage for you. And this is something I believe to the core of my heart. There is a stage for everyone. Determining what that stage looks like will depend around your message. So first of all, get clear about your signature speech. What is that speech? Who is that message for? And then know that regardless of where you are in the creation process of that speech, whether you're just writing an outline, you've got some slides together, you've got thoughts, there are ways for you to deliver mic drop moments with each phrase and sentence you utter as part of that
Mm.
presentation. So if you're like, well, Jen, I don't know if I've ever delivered a mic drop moment, that's okay because there are ways to deliver those moments. And that's why I host the Mic Drop Mindset podcast. If you want to listen to the podcast, there are episodes that deal with how to build your presentation. There are episodes on how to be clear on who you're speaking to, how to get charged, how to get paid a speaking fee, and how to show up as a 10K speaker because maybe someday, maybe not today, but live into what that dream could look like for you. Like, what do you want speaking to do for you? Make sure you have a speech to talk about, and from there you can build anything you want.
So good. So Jenn, real quick, before we close out, how can people find you? Is there a good social media platform or your website? Obviously, you've got a podcast. We'll be dropping the link, one, for her document that has the 3 E's, and we'll also drop that link of her podcast. But if someone wanted to connect with you and maybe set up a time to chat and see how they can get paid doing speaking opportunities, how can they connect with you?
I would love for you to visit my home, my digital home, which is Jenn with 2 N's, spingo.com. Or if you want to find me on social, LinkedIn is the place to be. It's my favorite online water cooler. So come grab a glass of water with me and let's hydrate and figure out what the next step is for you. But feel free to send me a message if you heard me on this podcast, and I'd love to say hi back.
I love it. Jenn, this conversation has been so powerful. If there's one thing that I want each of you to be able to take away from today, it is this. Your voice is not just a gift. It's actually a vehicle to create impact, a vehicle to attract the right people, and a vehicle to build a business that aligns with your calling. If you have loved this episode, please take a screenshot of it, share it on social media, tag both of us. We want to hear from you, and we want to hear what spoke to you. And if you're a coach, a speaker, or a leader who knows you're called to host your own retreat, but you're not really sure where to start, that's exactly what I will help you do. I help you turn your message into a high-impact, income-generating retreat experience. Until next time, keep showing up, keep speaking out, and keep heating up your retreats. Bye, friends. Be sure to follow, share, and leave a review so more leaders like you can heat things up too. Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep planning bold, and keep heating up your retreats.